Hello, a very warm welcome to you from wherever in the world you're watching to Dealstream, the show where we introduce you to some of the most exciting startups in clean tech. Now, this is a special edition of Dealstream. We're focusing exclusively today on teams that are based in Italy. And over the course of the next 45 minutes or so, we'll bring you 4 Italian startups, all of which have progressed through Italian accelerators. So if you are unfamiliar with the format of how Dealstream works, it's very simple. I'll explain it to you now. Each team will get a 2-minute video pitch followed by a 5-minute live Q&A with myself and a guest investor. Now, these are some of the sharpest, most entrepreneurial minds in the space, and they're all seeking funding. Welcome along to Dealstream. Now, all of these startups are very much looking to change the game. And as I said, they're also looking for investments. And that's why joining me for today's Dealstream is someone who can ask the difficult questions. Barbara Alvale, welcome along to Dealstream. Barbara, how are you today?
I'm really fine, thank you.
It's lovely to see you.
To be here with you today.
Barbara, I'm sure there are people watching that know who you are, but for those that don't know who you are, could you just give us a little bit of a background, please?
Yes, I'm a business angel for Italian Angel for Growth, which is the most popular business angel network in Italy. I'm a startup investor. I invested in more than 10 startups at the moment. No exit yet, unfortunately. Last but not least, I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Doorway, which is an equity investing platform that put in connection highly selected startup and PMI with highly selected investors.
So you wear quite a lot of hats then, I think it's fair to say. You're a very busy person. And like you say, you speak to lots of startups on a regular basis. What are the main criteria then that you look for?
The first thing we look at is the team. Since we think that the idea could be great, the project could be great, but without a great team, any idea can go nowhere. The second thing we look for is some traction in the market, because we think that any solution has to find a market which assure the investors the startup invest in as an exit sooner or later.
And you're going to be asking some questions with me today to each of the startups that we speak to. It's very much a virtual pitch setting, isn't it? How have you found virtual pitching since, of course, the coronavirus pandemic started?
Well, it has been somehow tough, but we had some successful results anyway.
Well, look, Barbara, it's really great to have you along with me in today's Dealstream. Let's have a little look at what we've got coming up on today's program. So in a few moments, we're going to be finding out more about Tessa, Local Green, Igloo and Store H, as you can see there. If you're just joining us, a reminder that this is an Italian Dealstream special edition, all Italian teams seeking funding today. And you can see on the screen there that they are very exciting teams indeed. What you're looking at right now is the Climate-KIC Investor Marketplace. And here's the key bit of information. If you're interested today in speaking directly to any of the startups that are featured, this is what you'll need to use, the Investor Marketplace. It's really easy. Just sign up, create a profile, and you can start browsing a whole variety of startups offering entries into varying sectors right across the clean tech space. You'll be able to contact today's startups who are all listed there. Now, before we begin, our legal notice. The information provided in this Dealstream is only intended for investment professionals in the EU, the UK and Switzerland. Climate-KIC doesn't provide investment advice nor any representation about the companies featured, and the content of this broadcast has not been approved by any authorised person within the meaning of the UK Financial Services Regulation. So, of course, if you do choose to invest, It is very much your capital at risk, and you may not get any or all of your money back. That is our legal notice out of the way, you'll be happy to hear. So let's get stuck into this edition of DealStream. A beautiful look there at the region of Trentino, all that it has to offer as well. That is where our very first startup today is based. So without further ado, let's learn a little bit more about Store H. The question they pose: what if we could store energy surplus in the summer and use it in the winter? Here to provide the answer is Federico.
Hi, I'm Federico Longini, CEO and co-founder at Store H. Our company has the mission to make hydrogen on demand, the cheapest and most scalable energy storage solution on the market, which solves the problem of intermittency and not programmability of renewable. Energy grid need a real-time imbalance between loads and production. So, energy storage are a fundamental part, especially now with an increasing penetration of renewable. Energy storage market for stationary application is a world megatrend with accumulated value by 2013 in excess to $35 billion. Current solutions on the market suffer from high cost, short life, dependency from critical raw material, and safety risk. How we move the boundary of energy storage from few hours to seasonal storage, so we can use in winter energy produced and stored during summer. But let's have a look to how it works. We start from water electrolysis concept, so give energy to split the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen, and we introduce zinc as an intermediate element, which allows us to split the process into two separate phases, decoupling oxygen and hydrogen production and solving the problem of the storage. We have an advantage on our competitors in terms of cost because our system is much cheaper than lithium batteries, is completely scalable because power and capacity are independent, and is safe because we produce and store hydrogen without the needs of high pressure tanks and compression, and this is sustainable because all used materials are recyclable. We point to residential and commercial sector. For this type of products, our customer will be a renewable installer, then which will go to the final user. While for large system, for grid stabilization, we will go directly to utilities, offering a customized solution. We offer an investment opportunity between 1.7 and 2 million, which will be used to increase the team for new application of patents, to finish the experimentation phase, and to bring on the market the first line of a product destined to industrial sector. This is our team with an experience in renewable engineering and business and production management, and we have also a strong R&D department dedicated to electrochemistry and electronic development. So, thank you for your attention. Bye.
And now we can welcome Federico to today's episode of DealStream. Hello, Federico. Thank you for joining us today. You're our very first guest. How are you?
Hi, James. I'm fine. Thank you.
Nice to see you. Well, look, we've got some questions for you, Federico, myself and Barbara, who joins me today. So I'll go first. I'll kick things off. Federico, I noticed in the video there that we just watched, there was a lot of focus on zinc as being, the crucial part of this. Why zinc? And how much consumption of zinc, I suppose, is there in the system?
Okay. I make a promise. So when we speak about energy storage, we have to consider as the main parameter cost. Cost is crucial for energy storage. So if you want to bring on the market a cost-effective solution, starting from a low production, so not considering high mass production, you have to start from a cheap and not critical raw material. Zinc is the fourth used metal in the world. It's very cheap and widespread, and this is an advantage for us because we could buy at a low and constant price, and we have to consider during our scale up of the business that we could buy zinc where we build the system. Okay, during the cycle, zinc is not consumed and could be recycled after the end of life of the system.
Hi, Federico. How the storage device is different from the others of the competition?
So if we consider lithium batteries, we are completely different because we have a completely scalable system. We have a part that is dedicated to store energy, so use electricity to extract zinc. Then we have a capacity that is used to store that zinc. And we have another release unit that is used to produce hydrogen on demand. So we don't need any pressure tank and any compressor. And so we have a system in which power in, power out, and capacity are completely decoupled. And so another big difference is that we could extend the range of energy storage from few hours to seasonal storage. So with our system, you could use energy in winter, energy that is produced and stored during summer. Mm-hmm. So we have a much bigger system at a much lower cost.
And that sort of leads into my next question, Federico. How long is the life of the system? And is there any loss of capacity over the course of its life cycle?
Yeah. Another big difference with lithium batteries is that we haven't any capacity fade during the life of the system. We use electrodes that are coming from water alkaline electrolysis, and we point to reach 90,000 hours of work, which is about more than 20 years of life.
What's your go-to-market strategy?
Well, at the moment, we point first to enter in the market in Italy and in Europe with a small and commercial sector unit. Then in the next year, in 2023, we point to introduce the residential unit, and after we point to introduce also large system for grid stabilization. Our customer will be renewable installers, and then they go to the final user. So we haven't to have a big commercial department to reach the final user.
Federico, that's all we've got time for. I wish we could chat for longer, but it's a real pleasure to speak to you, and very good luck with the fundraising. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, one down, three more to go in today's Dealstream Italian edition. Thank you to Federico for getting things off to a really good start. A reminder that if you do want to contact any and all of the startups featured in today's special edition of Dealstream, then the Investor Marketplace is where to go for that. The link is that in the description of this YouTube live stream, so you can find it there. But for now, we're going to head from energy storage to data. The company is Igloo, and their tagline is making the Internet of Things even cooler. Here to explain more is their co-founder, Andrea.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm here to talk about Igloo, the Shopify of the Internet of Things. Today, as much as 76% of the IoT projects fails before reaching the market, and according to Cisco, this is most of the times due to software challenges. That's why we offer manufacturers a cloud platform that includes software libraries to upload the data from the devices, web services to store this data in the cloud, and apps to visualize it. Our solution will be available through a monthly subscription that will allow our customers to store a fixed amount of data on our services and to customize our apps with their name, logo, and colors. We are not the first to build a service like this, but we believe that the offering of competitors like Blink and Cayenne are far too limited to be used in a final product rather than just a prototype. Our team is young but skilled. I oversee the development of our web services, and I have experience in this field from my work with the Kessler Foundation, a research center in Trento. Samuele, the other founder, oversees the business development. He is the creator of Fluently, which, according to Microsoft, was one of the 4 best designed apps of 2018. We have concluded the development of the platform last month, and we are now looking at renewable energies, agri-tech, and a few other sectors to choose the best beachhead market for our platform. With an investment of 150,000 euros on top of the 65,000 euros in non-repayable loans that we have already gathered, we plan to reach 1,000 customers by 2025 with an EBITDA of 1.5 million euros. This was Blue. Thank you for your time.
And now Andrea joins us on this episode of Dealstream. Andrea, it's lovely to see you. Thank you very much for being part of this program. Barbara and I have both got a couple of questions to ask you, so I'll kick things off. I suppose, Andrea, whenever we look at a company that deals with data, big data, customer data, security can be a really big issue. So what have you done to ensure the security and reliability of the platform?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting us. And for the question, security and reliability are topics that we, of course, deem very important. And on the security side, we have worked with a cybersecurity agency that has done a review of our software some minor problems were found and fixed, and we will continue working on them in the future to ensure that future updates of the platform are kept secure. As far as the reliability is concerned, we are also working with professionals in the cloud infrastructure field to ensure that our platform will scale accordingly, even with rapid growth in the customer base, and will keep being responsive.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
IoT platform is a highly competitive market. There are plenty of IoT platform nowadays. How would you conquer market share in this highly competitive market?
Okay, we have like two aspects as far as this is concerned. The first is our approach to the market, that in the short term, we will focus on making more customized solutions for our clients so that we can get deeper insights into the market that are crucial to allow us to build a very great generic product that will then be appealing to a broader audience and will allow us to scale. And the second thing is that we narrowed down the spectrum from the very broad IoT field to like agri-tech and renewable energy solutions in the IoT space. So, for example, excluding competition from the Industry 4.0 space.
And Andrea, I want to question about artificial intelligence, and I suppose it's sort of linked to what Barbara was saying there in her question. But artificial intelligence, I suppose, is another area that could help you stand out from the crowd, and it's gaining more and more traction in the IoT field. So, how much have you done to integrate AI with the Igloo concept?
Okay, so we built the platform from the ground up to provide easy access to data for companies that want to create artificial intelligence solutions that integrate with our platform. Namely, what Igloo does for these companies is taking data from many different devices that would normally have different formats and so be hard to handle, and provide all this data in a single standardized way and easily accessible. So we reduce the time needed, time and effort to create new artificial intelligence solutions on IoT data, or even connect already existing solutions to data from Igloo.
If an investor would invest in Igloo, what kind of exit should he expect?
We are planning to have an exit in like 5-6 years from the first seed investment in the company. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Well, Andrea, we will leave it there. It's fascinating to chat to you. Thank you so much for being part of DealStream, and very good luck with the fundraising.
Thank you very much.
All the best. So we are halfway through today's episode of DealStream, and if you are just joining us, a reminder that this is an Italian DealStream special. All the teams that you're seeing today have been run through Italian accelerators. They are very much all seeking funding. So if you want to invest, if you are interested in learning any more about any of these startups, then create an account on the investor marketplace, the link for which is in the description of the YouTube live stream page. Now, our next startup is called Local Green, and I'm really fascinated to speak to this team because they specialize in a concept that really hasn't taken hold in the market just yet, and that is vertical farming. So here to explain more is Paolo.
Hello to everybody, I'm Paolo Frattini and I'm the co-founder of Local Green. Local Green is a startup operating in vertical farming. Vertical farming is the technique of growing indoors using hydroponics techniques and artificial lighting. It uses just 2% of water and is 350 times more productive than traditional agriculture, no matter weather conditions. Thanks to these facilities, greens can be produced with the same quantity, at the same quality, every day of the year. Vertical farming has not taken over yet because mainly costs, connected to automation and labor. That's why Local Green created Local Farm, a new vertical farming design able to cut the costs connected to automation and labor. The result of our engineering, which is under patenting, are pretty impressive. Compared to turnkey solutions, our system costs 1/4 and needs just 75% less labor than other vertical farming systems. Local Green is planning to enter in the market by next June with a pilot Local Farm, a proprietary production site able to deliver on supermarket fresher and healthier ready-to-eat lettuce produced in a more sustainable way. One Local Farm is replicable in different cities and is able to produce 10,000 boxes of delicious mix of greens in a city for that city. We are asking for €200,000 in funds to support the final phase of R&D and the opening of the first pilot farm.
And here he is. Paolo joins us on DealStream right now. Welcome along, Paolo. It's lovely to see you. Thank you very much for being part of today's episode of DealStream. So Barbara and I have got a couple of questions for you, Paolo. I'll kick things off. Can you grow vertical farming inside already existing buildings, or do they have to be specially designed buildings for your solution?
We do not have a very strict specifics for our buildings. As far as the big enough, we can grow efficiently, and we usually grow inside the chambers that will be built inside already existing buildings. So yeah, we can.
What about Local Green team? I do not see any information on the presentation.
That's right. The team is composed by me, that I work more on the financials and the economics. Lorenzo Beccari, who is the co-founder with me, who follows the engineering and developed the system which will be patented, and Marco Maggioni, who has experience in one of the biggest vertical farming company in Europe and has worked as a researcher for more than 2 years.
Paolo, what's the main advantage for your customers having a vertical farming supplier, I should say, rather than, say, a wholesale distributor? What's the advantage for your customers in that sense?
Well, a company like Local Green can grow the same quantity with the same quality every day. So the big retailers that are always looking for a reliable customer can see in us a very good player to work with, and also the shelf life of our product is longer, which means less waste on one part, and also less cost for them, so higher profits.
You said that the first market, the first target, your first market target is Italy. What's the next target after Italy?
We think there are many countries and markets that are very interesting. We have worked with a student team of Bocconi, and the results we have is that North Europe and France can be a very good market to increase our business. And also there is a very interesting point in Arabic and warmer countries where usually it's more difficult to grow outside.
Paolo, we've just had a message in from YouTube from Cohen Kessels. I'm just flashing it up on the page there. What gives you an advantage over your competitors?
Yeah, that's interesting. We created a new system with a new layout, which allows us to automate the system because labor costs in vertical farming are extremely high. So our automation is cheaper to implement. We have seen competitors like a technology provider supplying systems for double, even 3 times the price of our technology. So the main invention here for us is the technology and automation technology and operations inside a vertical farm in order to reduce costs.
And Barbara, we've got time for another question if you'd like to ask another question here.
Maybe you have just explain what kind of use of the funds you're looking for, you would like to do.
Yeah, we plan to build a pilot which is in the city center of Milan, very close to it, and we aim to make a pilot where we want to validate our technology and just enter in the market in a way that is different from competition and grow our brand. While we could go directly to big retailers and big organized retailers, we prefer to validate our technology in a small pilot but commercially viable, more than just a research center that we already have. And after that, when we are where we know better our system, grow opening bigger facilities, this time more nearby Milan, so outside the city center, and supplying all the city.
Paolo, that's I'm going to have to leave it there, Paolo. That's all we've got time for because we need to get through to the next startup. But it's a real pleasure having you on today's Deal Stream. Thank you for being part of the show, and good luck with the fundraising as well.
Thank you very much.
Right then, we are really flying by onto our very last startup, and I'm very excited about this one. We're staying in the agriculture space to hear from a company called Tessa, using smart technology to help create a sustainable future agriculture. And here to explain more is Paolo.
Hi, I'm Paolo, CEO and co-founder of Tessa. We develop technologies and services for sustainable agriculture. To face the major challenge of climate change and increasing food demand, agriculture needs to become more digital and sustainable, and preserve natural resources which are often wasted. Take water, for example. 70% is used only by agriculture. One big problem we have today is that we do not know exactly what the conditions of the crops are anytime and with enough detail. Furthermore, current field monitoring solutions are costly and complex to deploy and maintain. Agronomic practices are very inefficient. Our solution uses plug-and-play wireless IoT hardware to collect data from anywhere in the field. It is super easy to deploy and requires no maintenance for years. Real-time data is immediately available to farmers via mobile and web app, where they also receive customized recommendations on the best actions to take thanks to our AI-based algorithms and ultra-local models. Finally, a blockchain-based reward system provides incentives to farmers for the adoption of sustainable practices. To achieve that, our hardware-as-a-service platform leverages energy-efficient IoT hardware and long-range radio communication in combination with proprietary cloud and AI models. The market of smart agriculture is worth $7.8 billion and is expected to grow up to $22 billion in 5 years. Today, we apply our solution to the precision irrigation domain, not only achieving 30% of water savings, but most importantly, enabling the possibility to increase the quality of the production and the market value of sustainable products. In 1 year of activity, more than 90 devices have been installed in different deployments all over Italy, covering different types of crops. We have also established a solid network of commercial leads and partners to secure future growth, for which we are currently seeking €500,000 funding. The team of founders comes with a strong background and experience in applied research and innovation, and it is supported by FDK, a renowned research center in northern Italy. Thank you.
Paolo, welcome along to Deal Stream. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Good
It's
afternoon,
nice.
everybody.
It's nice to see you. Thank you very much for being part of this edition of Dealstream. Barbara Vale is alongside me. We've both got a couple of questions for you. I'll kick things off. Paolo, is precision irrigation the only domain in which Tessa is involved, or could you apply your technology to other areas as well?
Okay, well, it is not the only domain where we can apply our technology. It is the first one we decided to focus on. And basically, our technology can be applied also to other domains. We are specifically planning to apply it to frost monitoring and intervention, and also disease and nutrients monitoring, which is very important.
What do you mean when you said that Tessa is a plug-and-play solution, which I think it's a very important issue for scalability?
Yes, Barbara. So basically, we put a lot of effort in having our solution, which actually we define it as plant and play, because you can really plant the device into the field, turn on the switch, and it is automatically connected to our cloud system. So we did a lot of effort to make this super simple, so that we can send devices to customers and they can install by themselves. So it's very crucial for us, this possibility.
And I suppose, Paolo, that's sort of linked to what you mean when you say hardware as a service. Is that right?
Yes, James, absolutely. So what we mean by hardware as a service, which is part also of our business model, is that we are not selling the hardware. Hardware is part of our offering, which is a service, a subscription-based service, which includes hardware. So somehow the devices are on lease, and the user doesn't have to buy them. We think really that this can lower the barriers to adoption of this technology and can foster its market adoption indeed. It lowers the cost a lot.
In 5 years, you will expect to have 1,500 customers in Europe. How do you acquire them?
Yeah, correct. So basically, in the first phase, we acquire customers primarily directly. We have to say who are our customers. Our customer segment is medium to large farms, because we don't want to do a door-to-door selling to small farmers. So we are targeting big farms and collective farming as well, so that we can talk to the players, which then can extend this and scale the solution to all their producers somehow. So we are doing it directly at the very beginning, but our strong effort is now to establish a partners network for commercial partnerships in order to scale the market in the future with them, together with them.
Paolo, I have to say my ears really pricked up when you talked about integrating blockchain technology into your solution. Talk to me about how you arrived at using the blockchain.
Yeah, sure. So basically, this is a recent addition that we are working on now. Basically, our hardware is ready to directly write all the information that can be sensed from it into a blockchain system. This allows two things, basically. On the one side, monetize by involving stakeholders into a virtual environment to foster adoption of sustainable practices. So to monetize those behaviors from producers which are more sustainable. On the other hand, it also helps in the future for traceability of how the usage of inputs, such as water for irrigation, for example, or fertilizers, has been used. So it also, in the long term, will help into achieving what is the market value of sustainability that our technology can prove.
We'll leave it there, Paolo, but it is fascinating to chat to you, and the very best of luck with all of your fundraising.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, there you have it, our 4 startups. In a moment, we'll have a roundup with Barbara and get her thoughts on today's startups. 4 brilliant startups featured in today's episode, an Italian special Dealstream episode. And it really is worth talking about the burgeoning clean tech community that is being fostered right now in Italy. We've seen teams from the Trentino region, as you saw earlier, but also from Emilia-Romagna. These hubs are fast becoming some of the most important innovation ecosystems in the world.
Land of ancient and prestigious universities, the most important national research institutions, globally leading large companies, and specialist, competitive, medium and small enterprises. High quality of life, advanced services, and an extensive transport and telecommunications infrastructure system make this area a strategic hub in Europe. Emilia-Romagna has chosen to invest in research, innovation and skills to generate real results in all production sectors, open up new market opportunities and create high-quality jobs. With a network of public and private industrial research labs, innovation centres, new world-class graduate and postgraduate courses, places of innovation for creating skills and disseminate new technologies, meeting places set up to promote the relationship between young people and the most innovative employment networks, community for the development of strategic projects, service networks and hubs for startups and innovators, concrete actions to support the growth of talents through higher education, doctorates and research grants, international networking. People are at the centre of this dynamic, ever-evolving ecosystem, whose founding principle is collaboration and complementarity between skills. Emilia-Romagna wants to be a region open to innovation, a crossroads of ideas and opportunities, a place where to build the future together. Emilia-Romagna, we make the difference.
Yeah, really grateful for the teams featured in today's Dealstream right across Italy, from Trentino, from Emilia-Romagna. It has been really lovely learning a little bit more about them today. Okay, Barbara, as you can see, joins me again now. Barbara, we'll have a little bit of a debrief about what you thought of those 4 startups we just showcased. What really struck you about the way we spoke to those startups today?
I think they all have in their different fields disruptive ideas and technology, but they need to prove and to approach all the 4 projects need to approach the market, which is the big target for them, for the project to prove to be valid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as you said earlier on, you've got experience as an angel investor, as a COO as well. If you're wearing both hats at the same time, which I'm sure you do all of the time, what advice would you give to the startups that we've just seen?
They all need, I think, to be to think very deeply about their go-to-market strategy, which I think it's very important for all of them.
Well, look, Barbara, that's all we've got time for today, but thank you ever so much for being part of today's Dealstream, and the very best of luck with your endeavors in the future.
Thank you for inviting me to this great event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, there we have it. If you have not yet created an account on the investor marketplace, the Climate-KIC investor marketplace, then please go ahead and do so. It's very easy to sign up and create a profile. The link is in the description of this YouTube live stream page. Go ahead there, create your own profile, and from there you'll be able to browse a whole host of startups offering lots of different investment opportunities. And we heard from some very exciting ones today, some wonderful startups on today's Italian Deal Stream special. Thank you to them for joining me. Thank you to Barbara for asking some very interesting questions, and thank you to you for watching along as well. We'll see you in the next Deal Stream.